Most guys think they need an insane amount of volume to grow with calisthenics. 20 sets a week, endless push-ups and pull-ups, and I used to believe that too. That is exactly why I wasted years staying small. Now, after 7 years of training, I learned that less volume, but more quality and doing it right is what actually builds muscle. So in this video, I'll show you exactly why you don't need 20 sets and why you can actually cut it down quite a bit and build more muscle by training less. Now let's get into chapter number 1, the myth of high volume calisthenics training. Most calisthenics athletes believe, especially the ones who are more on the beginner side of things, they always believe that you should do more work in order to gain more results. And that couldn't be more further from the truth. The reality is, about any training in general, but especially with calisthenics, because I'm gonna get into how to actually train hard, the more you actually put in real effort, the less you're going to have to do throughout the whole week. And that is something that you learn along the way. So I'm not saying that every single beginner should immediately start by training once a week or whatever. But after you have gone to more of an advanced stage, you don't need no 30, 40 sets per week per muscle group in order to gain reliable muscle every single week. And by the way, for most of y'all, it's actually going to go downhill. The moment when I actually started doing this, I couldn't even recover no more, and I was not actually growing. Now, it felt good for my personal ego. It was like, yo, I'm doing hella sets, hella reps. I'm training more. I'm training 7 times a week basically. But the reality was I wasn't gaining muscle as fast as I could gain muscle, because I was not implementing the quality, but I was only looking at the quantity aspect of things. And when you do that, you're not really allowing yourself to improve with every single thing that you are doing. So if you want the exact structure that I use to gain muscle reliably every single week, as well as my clients that I coach one-on-one, go to the top link in the description. This is where you're gonna stop running in circles and actually know what to do. The exercises, the routines, the workouts, the full blueprint to go from skinny to jacked within 6 months of the correct way of calisthenics training. So click the top link in the description and I'll see you inside. Now let's get into chapter number 2, the multiple mistakes I have made that actually led me staying in a plateau where I wasn't building muscle at all. And this is what most people are doing as of right now, and this is stopping them from growing reliably. Now, number 1, they train like an absolute madman. The only reason why you like to train like a madman is to feel your ego rising up, right? It's basically to feed your ego so that you can tell other people that you train 7 days a week with 45 sets per muscle group, and that you spend 3 hours in the gym or at home and you're just training every single day and a lot. But the thing is, the reality is, if you want to gain more muscle, the more quality you put in per set with a lot of effort, so as much effort as you can by sticking with the most quality effort that you can put in during a set, that is actually what builds the muscle. That is actually what improves you from one level to another level when it comes to form, structure of your training, when it comes to the intensity of it, when it comes to recovery. So for most people, they should not be training like that. Now, I understand if you're just getting started with calisthenics, I had the same problem. I had the same thing going on, that like the first thing I wanted to do is just train a lot, right? Because I was so excited about it. I saw a little bit of results in the mirror. But in order to go the next level, you cannot just rely on what you did that got you started. Listen, as a beginner, you might be able to get started off doing a bunch of push-ups and a whole lot of pull-ups and a whole lot of dips and a whole lot of squats and just doing anything mindlessly without any type of structure. You could do that. But what I'm saying is, it's going to stop you from progressing further and further and further down the line in order to make real progress in your muscle building journey. So if your main goal right now is building muscle, then your main focus should not be doing more, but it should always be doing it better with whatever you're doing right now. So let's say you have your important exercise selection, right? Your important exercise selections such as your pull-ups, your dips, your squats, your lunges, your pike push-ups. You add some isolation exercises in there. The most important thing that you should do is progressively overload with more and more quality over time. And of course, you're supposed to get stronger, but I want you to be stronger in the aspect of the quality. So instead of sacrificing all of the quality that you have right now when it comes to your push-up, your pull-up, your dip, and just increase everything of it. So increase the reps, increase the range of motion, increase everything, but you're just sacrificing the quality of it and you're just adding weight every single week. I'm sorry, the gains are not going to be made. Now, you may make some gains in the early stages of doing that, but after a little while, your form and your quality is going to be broken down so much that you're not even progressing no more in the proper way. Now, you might feel like you are because you're getting stronger, but the thing is, you're just sacrificing all the good stuff in order to feed your ego a little bit more. So you need to wake up right now, bro. I'm literally telling you right now that I'm literally telling you my mistake right now. If you want to stop looking at yourself in the mirror and think, why am I getting stronger? Because I'm not really getting bigger. Well, the thing is, you're technically not even getting stronger. Your weight might be going up. You adding a shit ton of plates to your weighted pull up or to your weighted dip or to your weighted squat. But the reality is you're increasing one thing, but you're decreasing another thing, which is way more important than increasing this. So what you should do, throw this one fucking away for the upcoming few months and just focus on getting this up there, which is more and more quality. Now, once you have made that a solid habit, now you can actually increase the other side, which is adding weight, adding more range of motion, more depth, more tempo, and just start prioritizing the strength part of it after you got the movement down completely. So if you cannot do the movement correctly yet, then you have no business in trying to increase the reps or increase the weight of it. Stick to the quality over the quantity and how much you're able to feed your ego every single week, because you're not doing anything with it. Now, that's gonna get us to chapter number 3, and that is hypertrophy with calisthenics. The reason why I say to people, why I say to my clients, do not try to increase the sets every single week for you to progress. It could be a way to progress, but a lot of people, and I would arguably say 90% of the people who do that are not reliably progressing, and they're gonna land the plateau very quick for numerous reasons, right? For numerous reasons such as recovery issues. You're going to be dealing with recovery issues if you're just increasing the volume week by week. You're going to also experience some overusage on your joints, ligaments, muscles. You're going to be feeling. When I used to do diamond push-ups every single day, because I was like, I've been doing push-ups every single day, let me just switch it to diamonds. The thing that I started experiencing is that my elbow and my wrist, because the hand positioning like this, right, was fucking up my wrist and my elbow. So I was like, I have to cut down on this or switch up the variations in order to prevent that overuse on the same movement every single time. So more is not the answer, but what is the answer? The answer is intensity. With more intensity, you can decrease your volume. So let's say you're doing push-ups right now and your push-ups are very good. You have the right quality under control. You know how to actually push a push-up set with perfect form, and you're actually able to go to, pretty close proximity to failure with that good form, with that good quality. Then the answer is never going to be just increasing with one set every single week, because then after like 20 years, you'll be doing 50 sets with like 30 reps or whatever. Of course, we don't want to do that. What we want to do is learn how to increase the intensity and get stronger within it. So how can we do that with, for example, a push-up or a pull-up or a dip, the basic movements of calisthenics? Well, first off, when it comes to the push-ups, the first thing that we want to do in order to increase the intensity is learn how to actually add intensity techniques after you are done with a normal quality set. The only moment when I genuinely use intensity techniques is not after I'm just breaking down in form a little bit. No, it's literally after I cannot do a rep no more, okay? But it's after I cannot do a rep no more with proper quality. So I'm not gonna arch my back fully and still allow that to happen and say I did 20 reps, but it's really just 10 reps, and the next 10 reps you did it with a fuck ton of arch. That's not the purpose of a push-up. The purpose of a push-up is doing it properly, and then the moment when you are not able to do a solid rep no more, so you're literally straining your way up, but you cannot get it, you're going to be adding in intensity techniques, such as, number 1, partial reps. You've heard about it. It's basically the lengthened position rep. So it's basically when you are at the down position, so when your chest is fully stretched, you're going to be just pulsing your way up, and you're going to be doing that for about 4 to 5 times after you have hit failure. But there's a crucial mistake that most people make, and that is that they treat partial reps, okay, like an exercise that is just used just to pump up some extra blood into it. The proper way of doing partial reps is by literally having the mindset of trying a full rep. So what does that mean, right? Well, first off, after you have hit failure, you're not able to do full reps anymore. Obviously, right? That's why we call it failure. You failed a rep. You can no longer hit full reps. But you're going to be trying to do full reps, knowing that you cannot get them, but you're going to go up as high as you physically can. And the moment when you stop moving, that is when you're going to drop yourself down. And that's one partial. So one partial is not just busting out these little ass reps or pull-ups, these little ass like jerk reps. That's not partial reps. Partial reps is pulling up with the normal normal straight form that you can do, but you're gonna be stopping the moment when you cannot go up no more. And then you're gonna drop yourself down and do that again. So pull up as high as you physically can, or push up as high as you physically can. Let's say you come to halfway, that's one partial rep. Do about 4 to 5 of those, and you will already start to see changes in how your body reacts to it the next day when it comes to soreness. And you will see how your body reacts to it in a couple of months by doing this consistently after every single failure set. Now, there's one more intensity technique that I want you to use, and it's very important. The proper way of training to failure with intensity techniques is actually not by just going as hard as you can, right? Because everybody can go as hard as you can in one set. And I do want you to do that at first. But here's the second technique that I want you to implement. It's going to change your life up. Let's say you have one set of push-ups where you did 12 reps. That's all you could do. We discounting the fucking partials, by the way. We're not regarding that in this. Just the full reps. You could do 12 full reps with 45 pounds of ring push-ups. That's all you could do. What would be the next step of increasing the intensity? The second set you're going to do, you're going to be doing 12 reps again. And you might think that's not possible because I did it on the first set, and on the second set I'm more fatigued, so I'm not going to be able to hit 12, which is the purpose of it. I say yes to that. I agree. I totally agree. But this is where rest and pause comes into play. So when you have, for example, a push-up set done to failure of 12 reps or whatever, after you are done with a 12 rep set, second set, you're going to be doing it again, but let's say you stop at 8, which could happen, which is probably going to happen. Rest for about 5 seconds, maybe 10 maximum, and then get back into it until you hit 12 reps in an entire set. So it's called, I think it's called myo reps or whatever, but I like to call it just matching up with the first set. You're going to match up. So whatever you get on the first set, you have to do on the second set. And when you start to implement these intensity techniques, you'll start to notice that you don't need 5 sets or 6 sets for an entire exercise. The only thing you literally need right now is 2 sets, sometimes even 1. The thing about it is, the more intense your training sessions are, if you're gonna add a bunch of volume on top of that, you're going to get injured, my boy. It's not even going to be effective. The thing that I want you to do is literally increase your intensity by a shit ton. If you're not used to that yet, just do it. Just fucking throw it up in the sky, bro. Stop leaving reps in reserve and just go all the way up with the intensity. But drop the volume down drastically as well. Cut down on like 3 sets. If usually you're doing 5 sets, learn how to train hard and then cut down the sets and watch how much progress you actually made. Check out this message that I got from a client today. This is the first time of him actually implementing 2 sets to failure this way that I'm explaining it to you. And he was usually doing 5 sets, and boom, he already experiencing more pain. That's because the intensity is upped. So this principle, less volume but more intensity, is something that I exactly lay out in the Jacked by Calisthenics blueprint. If you actually want to join, the top link is in the description. This is where you're going to be following all the modules, doing exactly what I say mindlessly. You don't even have to think about it, and just go from skinny to jacked within 6 months with the hard work that you're going to be putting in. So the top link is in the description. If you want to stop running in circles and stop actually contemplating on what to do, the top link is in the description, and I'll see you inside. So how much volume do you actually need? This is the known conversation that everybody likes to talk about. In my opinion, when it comes to your training right now, you will probably be better off cutting the sets completely down and just increasing the intensity, while you only keep like 10 sets per muscle group every single week. Weekly. Now, I'm not talking about a full workout. No, I'm literally talking weekly. You could be saving a bunch of time and making more gains and training harder. So actually increasing the work ethic by just decreasing it to 2 sets in total for the entire workout for every single exercise that you're doing, and end up at about 10 to 12 sets per week. That's all you need. You don't need no 20, 30, or 40. Listen, with 10 sets a week, you're also going to be optimizing your recovery, because right now you're not even training that long, but whatever you're doing within that not long training, you're doing better than what you were doing previously with your 2.5 hour workouts. Now, I used to be in that spot, bro, so please just listen to me, like trust me with this. I used to train for 2.5 to 3 hours every single day in the gym in the evening or in the morning. I used to be there for hours at a time. Why? Because I did not know this concept yet. I was doing my calisthenics workouts, 5 sets of 10 pull-ups, and then doing 5 sets of 10 pull-ups again with a different weight. Like, I was doing that crazy shit. Bro, I'm not lying right now. Back in the day, I used to do 25 sets of of pull-ups weighted. Literally, this is not a joke. I was doing 5 sets of 10 with 40 kg, then 5 sets of 10 with 30, 5 sets of 10 with 20, and then 5 sets of 10 with 10 kg. That's literally the type of shit that I used to do. And of course, it built up a crazy mindset. Like, I was able to go on for hours. Like, it was great. Nobody could ever match my training. Nobody could ever train with me because I was just that guy when it comes to calisthenics. But right now, I learned the actual correct way of calisthenics training, and it is decreasing whatever you're right now doing. So decreasing the volume, doing a little less, but doing whatever you're doing right now fucking better. I'm telling you, if you make this change right now, your gains are going to be exploding. Now let's get into the last chapter, and that is, what type of workout split do I actually think this works the best on? Well, first off, it depends, right? If you like to do push-pull legs and you can actually stick to it, then fucking go ahead and stick to it. If you like Arnold split, which is what I currently follow, then just do the Arnold split. But in my opinion, the best split is something that you can stick to for the longest amount of time. If you enjoy it, if you can stick on it, if you can focus on it, if you can progress with it, then that is the exact split that you should follow this method with, of training less. The beautiful thing about this training is that you don't need to actually focus the most on your split, because every single split is going to be working with this if you just add a lot of intensity to it. If you're able to do that with every single workout session, doesn't matter what your split is, you're going to gain muscle. Even a training split where you're only training each and every single muscle group 1 time a week. So the moment when you have found your split where you think, you know what, this is just a perfect split for me, I can stick on it, I can progress with it perfectly fine, I'm gonna do this, go ahead and do it. The world is literally yours. Fucking focus on it as much as you can, the best of your possibility, and you're going to be gaining progress with it. So stop killing yourself with 20, 30, or even 40 sets a fucking week and start grabbing the gains that you have left on the table. So if you want to do that and actually make reliable progress, if you're serious about growth, then click the top link in the description to my Jacked by Calisthenics Blueprint program, and you're actually going to be going from skinny to jacked within 6 months' time. And with that being said, watch this video right here, because I'm going to be exactly showing you what 3 exercises are the best for chest growth.